Hey, it's Ben. Welcome to Oasis, Nuevas, Fuerzas. Today I'm going to be taking you on a little tour of the Oasis and introducing you a little bit to our ministry, how we got interested in it, and what exactly it's all about. So stick around. I think you'll like it. Life Impact Ministries exists to impact all nations for Christ by strengthening the vitality of Christian leaders through hosted places of skilled personal care. Oasis hosts offer a transformational hospitality experience, providing a safe, nurturing, and restorative environment where leaders can be refueled, restored, and ready to return to work with fresh vigor and endurance. This is usually done at a Life Impact Oasis, like Oasis Nuevas Fuerzas. Life Impact has Oasis locations located around the world, close to where pastors, missionaries, and Christian leaders actually serve. Situated high upon the side of the Poas volcano, Oasis Nuevas Fuerzas is just above the town of Grecia. On a clear and sunny day, we have a spectacular view of almost the entire Central Valley. We are blessed to see God's creation in the gorgeous mountainside, colorful flowers, green trees, singing birds, fluttering butterflies, and hovering hummingbirds. We want to provide you a unique place for rest and renewal. Our hope is that by providing an oasis in the midst of God's beauty and creation, you will draw closer to Him and return to your ministry strengthened. When I hear the word oasis, I think of a place of rest where there's water in the middle of a dry and parched land. When I close my eyes, I see the weary traveler, seeing the oasis off in the distance, coming to it, and at last, fresh water where he can drink freely and deeply. And of course, at a Life Impact Oasis, that's exactly what happens to pastors, missionaries, and Christian workers. It's a place where they can go, talk freely about their struggles, and get poured back into. At Oasis Nuevas Fuerzas, we've been trained in many aspects of Christian coaching, including biblical counseling and debriefing. But what I believe God has really given us a gift in is hospitality. See, both my wife and I worked for years in the restaurant industry, learning how to take care of people and make them feel right at home. And when pastors, missionaries, and Christian leaders are at Oasis Nuevas Fuerzas, it is that very hospitality and making them feel at home that breaks down the barriers and starts the beginning of forming deep relationships and intimate conversations. God put in my heart a passion for member care before I even knew what that term meant. See, I grew up in a Christian home, and our church was very involved in ministries throughout the world. And I saw time after time these missionaries that had spent years serving the Lord on the field. They came back. They were tired. Many people couldn't relate to the experiences that they had had. I remember one story of a missionary woman, and she had come home on furlough, and she stood up in front of everybody, almost with tears in her eyes, talking about the simple things that we take for granted, like brushing your teeth with running water. And I began to think, we need to take really good care of these people. You see in their newsletter all these great stories of what they've gone through, but many times they couldn't tell the hard stories, the things that people didn't really want to hear, the things that we don't associate with being a good missionary. Oh boy, where do I start with this one? I think one of the most common misconceptions is that pastors, missionaries, and Christian leaders have some sort of special relationship with God, and they just don't need to be taken care of in that way. It's so easy to put our pastors, Christian leaders, and missionaries up on this pedestal, like they have some kind of special connection with God. But really, they're just humans. They have marriage problems. They have problems with their kids, especially teenage kids. And if you really think about it, who do they have that they can go tell about those struggles? So when it comes to member care, this is a need that we're trying to meet. Another misconception I hear quite a bit is that an oasis must be a lot like just a vacation home, a place where they can go and take a vacation. And if that were true, that might actually be sufficient, because many of these pastors, missionaries, and Christian leaders, they don't get vacations like the rest of us. Many missionaries are struggling with money. Pastors have to be bivocational just to get by. But an Oasis is so much more. It's a place they can go and talk to somebody who's been trained in Christian coaching, Christian counseling, or possibly debriefing, who can talk to them about their struggles and provide a place where they can be open and transparent in a truly confidential environment. I would like to say that member care is everyone's job, not just the member care provider. If you're a Christian, God has given you a special gift or ability that He wants to use for His kingdom. Maybe it is in care. Maybe it's in providing financially so that this kind of ministry can stay opened. Maybe it's in encouragement. Maybe it's in encouraging the missionaries, pastors, or Christian leaders, or those of us that are providing care to them. Whatever skill or ability you have, God gave it to you for a reason. And I believe part of that reason is to keep your pastor, Christian leader, and missionary healthy and on the field for longer. There's really two ways we can be contacted. The first is through our email address, nuevasfuerzas@lifeimpact.care, or you can go to the website, www.lifeimpact.care. There's a tab that says Oasis Booking and Info. If you click on the tab, you can scroll through and find information about every single one of the Oases. Ours is, of course, Oasis Nuevas Fuerzas. I'll put a link in the description box below. I would like to personally say thank you for everyone that's watching that supports us financially or through prayer. It is through your generous donations and the time that you spend in prayer that this ministry can even exist. If you know of a pastor, missionary, or Christian leader that you think could benefit from a stay at the Oasis, please put them in contact with us. Again, thank you for watching.